when you really observe, obviously everyone has their right to process in their way. And if they're willing to learn and add knowledge towards that, they will, if that's their journey and their choice. I feel like I've noticed that people are incredibly uncomfortable with how heavy grief is. And because essentially, this from what I've witnessed and how I hear people talk about grief, it's the unprocessed emotions from before, and then feeling something as heavy as grief kind of all combines, in my opinion, and just sits there. And then
Mm,
people do not know how to release it, how to validate it, how to understand it. I mean, essentially, I've watched people focus entirely on their grief and not be able to be in the moment of that funeral, basically.
mm,
And that's completely understandable. Is that you're sitting there trying to control it. And I know this myself. You're trying to control it, you're trying to keep it where it is because of how uncomfortable, especially a safety thing as well. People will not express vulnerability if they do not feel safe to do so.
mm,
And I feel in a lot of ways too, especially within family units and even just within strangers, a lot of people do not feel safe to show, especially something that can be as heavy as grief for a lot of
mm.
people. And the way they express that can be so overwhelming. Like you see people just move forward and they're fully releasing and releasing. I've seen videos on TikTok. I'll just, of course, I'll have videos come up of people at a funeral and this process of that. And you see people fully releasing and they're moving forward. And I know you and I have talked about this, Geordie, because when I've had healings with
Mm,
Geordie before, the movement of going forward and just like you feel it being released from your chest. Like you literally feel like you're, I'm not going to say vomiting, right? But it literally feels like you're, I don't know any other word to describe it, vomiting up everything that has been sitting on your chest area. And I learned from Geordie that grief sits on the chest, really, and it's the main place. And it's so interesting when she told me that, just the unfolding of learning what that feels like and being more aware of it and observing sort of like where it's sitting, heart, lungs, and even sometimes throat. Like you feel it. Some of you might have felt it in your throat before when you're emotional. It's like that ball in your throat and it all just sits there, right?
mm,
But from my personal perspective, I just think one, it is, as you also mentioned too, it's an element of control for safety within self to not express vulnerability. That's like the version of safety for a lot of people.